What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have got a Chicago Bulls and Indiana Pacers game reaction in which the Bulls led, surged, and ended up having a very comfortable victory against this Pacers team. Now, at the end of the day, there's a lot of reasons why this game went right, and we're going to be discussing most of them, hopefully, in this video. But before we get any further, if you enjoyed the video and you'd like to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Bulls, their game today, and your player of the game, in which we did win this game 125-99. I believe that was the score. And look, the biggest problems for the Bulls mostly was the defensive end. And I think the key thing to start off today was that we did great things on the defensive end today. I think it's pretty clear. All of last week, even in the wins that we had, the game against the Rockets and the game against the Trailblazers and the game against Boston, it just was a massively disastrous defensive week where we gave basically nothing to hold accountable for. We didn't stop anything from any of the teams, and it just was a complete nightmare. Today, we held the Pacers to a 43-point half, I believe, and we had over 60 points. And then obviously we dominated in the fourth quarter again, and the Pacers didn't even crack 100. That is a great result defensively for the Bulls, and you have to give all the credit there. But there's a little bit more than just that. I think the energy was just so good today. And that's where I have to give credit to a returning player for the Chicago Bulls on that 10-day contract, Javonte Green. Ladies and gentlemen, he made an instant impact as soon as he came onto the court. He got a layup, he got a rebound, he got a block, and it just felt like a different type of energy with him on the floor. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he was perfect. He turned the ball over. Sometimes it looked like it was a little bit out of place on the defensive end, but his energy, everybody loved that energy for Javonte Green. I've never seen this Bulls team move quite like that for the whole season, really, until Javonte Green stepped onto the court. It made everybody just have that extra pep in their step and wanting and willing to make the extra movement. The off-ball movement for this Bulls team was elite today. And it's crazy because that's our biggest problem offensively, that we rely on DeRozan and Kobe White to do the bulk of the ball handling, the pick and roll play, and everybody else just kind of stands there and does nothing. There's no backdoor cuts, there's no dive cuts, there's nothing really for the Bulls to talk about in that way. However, today, that was a completely different story. Guys like Torrey Craig had a couple of dive cuts from the rim. Even Vucevic had a couple of dive cuts and stuff of that nature. And it just looked really, really good. And offensively, I think that led to why we ended up scoring 125 points on the night. But the energy is just different. And look, I'd love to see this energy every game. And I think Javonte Green was a welcome addition to this Bulls team, as we can see. I even said, look, I miss Javonte Green, man. I missed him heavily. Like, it sucks that we didn't give him the opportunity after last season, but I can understand it in a sense. He was injured. We didn't necessarily know the severity of the injury. He wasn't able to play for the most of the season last year. So it's easy to forget what he brought to the table. And I'm not saying Javonte Green is going to bring us a championship or anything like that, or even bring us close. But there's a lot that he does that won't show on the score sheet, will not show on his stat sheet. And that's what I like about him. He's the type of guy where I think people don't recognize what he could bring to a table, what he could bring to a team. Let's be honest, he's only played for two teams in the NBA, the Bulls and the Celtics. Those are the only two teams he has played for. He's played for G League teams. He's been injured for a while. So I can understand teams not needing or wanting or even understanding the value of a Javonte Green. But as soon as he steps on the court, things changed. He was one of the highest plus minuses in the game today. I'm actually going to check because he might have been the highest. And that is going to be a big cap in his hat, or, a big accomplishment for him in his first game back for the Bulls. So Javonte Green, in general, only had 5 points and 4 rebounds. Plus minus wise, wow. By far the biggest plus minus. He was plus 26 today. When he was on the floor, the Bulls were much better as a team. So you have to give all the credit for him and how much of a difference he impacted on everybody. Not his own stats, but everybody else's. Everybody else, it was a different vibe coming into that game. And I think we needed it. And I'm also going to give credit to Billy Donovan here. I think today he used Javonte Green in areas where we needed energy the most. I was complaining for the second half why we haven't seen Javonte Green, but then I kind of figured out if he started him at the beginning of the fourth quarter, you know, he just sends him out there when we need that extra pep in our step, because let's be honest, that second half is always a bit of a mystery for the Bulls. You don't know what Bulls team is going to show up, and especially when we had a comfortable lead, you wanted to extend it. You wanted to really push it out of proportion. And Javonte Green did that for us. He started in that fourth quarter. He did turn the ball over, which led to a run from the Pacers, but his energy helped his Bulls team. That second quarter was fantastic, and guess who played in it? Javonte Green. So I'm happy. I'm happy all the way around. I'm happy with the defensive work. I think we did very, very good in steals and deflections today. There was a lot of times where the Pacers were, trying to drive down the lane, and the Bulls players, had their hands ready to reach in, and every time they got the ball, or at least that's what it felt like. I'm sure the Pacers fans and the Pacers players would disagree with that statement. I'm sure there were a lot of fouls that weren't given on both sides today, but whatever the case may be, we got our hands in the cookie jar, and in the end, we ended up getting more steals and deflections than not. We stopped the Pacers from dominating the paint. I think there was a lot of good paint defense today. Drummond, as well, makes an instant impact off of the bench. Got a double-double today. As soon as he comes in, the defensive level raises to the roof. And he was fantastic today. Vucevic as well. Can't forget about him. Horrible game. Horrible game in the last timeout. Comes here, and we tried to go through him a little bit more in that first half, and things just really picked up from there. Even Vucevic had a good defensive display. So that's something we've got to give credit to him for as well. A lot of things. Ayo Dosunmu. You forget Ayo Dosunmu sometimes, but man, was he our most efficient player today? Let's look at Ayo's stats real quick. 17 points, 4 assists, 7 from 11 from the field. Fantastic. DeRozan with 27 points. Kobe White, 18 points. But he was fairly inefficient today. A lot of good performances for the Chicago Bulls, and I can't really say anything else but that. So fair play, a big victory. Again, the Hawks won today against the Trailblazers, and the 76ers lost against the Clippers. So if there's any small glimmer of hope we can catch Philly, they lost today in a tough break, in all fairness. And obviously the Hawks, they won today. So winning this game meant so much for the Bulls. So we don't fall any further down the pecking order to the Hawks, which we will face fairly soon. And we have a chance to maybe catch that 8th seed. It's a small chance. Literally really small at this point, because we don't have that many games to really catch them up with. But we'll wait and see. In terms of my player of the game, I think I might have to give this one to DeMar DeRozan, but I want to give a shout out to Javonte Green, shout out to Ayo, shout out to Vucevic, Drummond, Torrey Craig. Everybody played a great game today. It didn't feel like anyone really, looked at this game and disappointed. But what do you guys think? Thank you for watching. Drop a like and a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. I will see you in the next Bulls-related video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care. And peace.